What's up, guys? This is Adi from Tilos International. I am so sorry we could not do a live show today. I'm going to talk to you about the huge win today. 4-2 Olympiacos destroys Panathinaikos for the first round of the playoffs. And we couldn't get a live show going. Both myself and Lambro were in the local Greek Independence Day parade down here in Baltimore. So we weren't able to watch the game live, or at least most of it. We caught the second half in the end. And then our European counterparts all had to be up at 6 a.m. Tomorrow. So at the time of recording, it's Sunday night here, relatively close to midnight, but not quite midnight. And yeah, but we are planning on doing a live show tomorrow. So we are planning on a live show. A couple of the guys are going to get together to talk about the game as well. I'm just here to offer you a quick reaction, my first thoughts on the game after watching the second half, and then, of course, rewatching the moments that I missed. So, we're going to just quickly talk about all of this stuff. You guys can hear the rest from the guys in the live show tomorrow. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time into the channel, consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you like what you hear, we do a lot of great things, offer a lot of great contact between vlogs, we do interviews, we do live shows, we do analyses, all of it. Check it out and quickly give us a like. If you are listening to us on audio platforms like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon or Google Play, wherever, give us a 5-star review and interact with us. Join us on socials. We broke 14,000 on Instagram last week. We broke 13,000 on Facebook. I believe, the week before that. On our way towards 7,000 for YouTube subscribers. Just join the rocket ship. That's this red and white community. It's amazing stuff. We also want to thank our patrons as well. You can join our Patreon group for just $1 a month. You can join the WhatsApp group, which is always lively. A couple of our patrons met up in Greece for this game. They went to the stadium, so we'd love to see that. We've built a great community. Our patrons are getting together anytime they're traveling. It's just a really awesome little network, a really great family we have. So come join the chaos. You also can get extra content. You can get some merchandise as well. So consider supporting us on Patreon and helping us continue to grow this amazing community and grow this amazing project. Now, a couple of quick little bits, or one quick little bit, I should say, for you guys before I start talking about the game. 100-year anniversary jerseys. We get messages literally every day about this from you guys and questions. There was some information we received, the fact about some stock, the store getting updated with new stock. Some of you who've had orders in for about a month now, or maybe it hasn't been a month, maybe it's just been a couple of weeks and it's felt like a month. Some of you have been seeing orders getting fulfilled. I actually, in a jersey I got for my son, I just got tracking information for, so it just shipped out as well. But they did say that next week we should be getting some more stock of the 100-year anniversary jerseys. So look out for that. We also have some giveaways coming out. So keep an eye starting from tomorrow, and then some more giveaways coming, hopefully, if it works out, throughout the week as well. So keep an eye out on that. Join Instagram. That is where we do pretty much all of our giveaways. Now, boys and girls, let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the 4-2 demolition of Panathinaikos at home to start the playoffs. I mean, the match literally fired off within the first minute. Roman Yaremchuk pressing on Dragowski, and he just gets in front of him when he's trying to kick the ball forward, scores a goal. I mean, incredible passion and pressing from Roman Yaremchuk when that goal went in. And with the intensity that we had, again, I didn't watch the game live, but from the messages I saw in the Patreon group, I mean, no one believed we could lose this game. Just, we were from the front, from the get-go, just pressing, going forward. No, we wanted this game so bad. We were willing to fight all game for this. Then after that first goal, of course, there was some back and forth. Panathinaikos was getting forward, but not really doing anything when they got into our final third. Ioannidis, I think the only thing that really happened in the first maybe 15, 20 minutes was Ioannidis drew a foul that really never should have been called in the first place, but then they're free kicked and nothing came of it. Our high press, though, during that period, the first 20 minutes, I mean, we are continuing to force them to make mistakes on the defensive end out of the back, really increased pressure on them. Mladenovic in particular was really struggling with the press. Vayanidis on the right side, their right back, he had a couple of pretty nice runs up and helped them transition. He was really the only bright spot for them that I saw, at least early on. But we ended up doubling our lead when once again the press, this time it was the trap, dispossesses Panathinaikos during the buildup. Unai ends up getting the ball and just completely gets stonewalled by Danny Garcia, who was waiting for him. And Danny Garcia plays the ball quickly to Francisco Ortega. He does a one-touch, kind of a little bit backwards, but and towards Mouzakitis. And Mouzakitis just plays a lovely little ball into Chiquinho. Chiquinho kind of like spins around it, then nutmegs William Arau, and he's just clear on goal. Slots this shot perfectly on the left side. I mean, every part of that play, from the dispossessing of Unai to all the ball movement that went to the goal, was just absolutely clinical. It was an amazing little piece of possession and a great shot on top of it. To Panathinaikos' credit, after the second goal, they didn't stop. I mean, 2 goals, 20 minutes. We're the ones applying all the pressure. I mean, they did pick up their physicality at this point, which I found to be, interesting, but at least a decent mentality. But as far as things went, I mean, Mladenovic continued to be vulnerable. Our press was still effective. We were making moves. We were getting some shots. And going back to the assist, I almost forgot. Mouzakitis in two straight starts for us. Remember, he played Bodo Glimt. He actually came on. He was a super sub at halftime. Sorry. He comes on at halftime, gets 2 assists to Roman Yaremchuk for his 2 goals. Well, Mouzakitis had the assist technically for Chiquinho. So Mouzakitis now has 3 assists in 2 games for Olympiacos, which is pretty crazy. Panathinaikos ended up pulling a goal back in the 25th minute through Mladenovic, the player who was probably one of their worst up to that point. They get the ball from the right side. It was a little bit of interplay between Vayanidis and Unai. They switch the ball over to Mladenovic, and he's wide open. Costinha's a little bit kind of too sucked in. He gets out there, and then Mladenovic just from that left side curls a great shot far corner. I mean, it was a nice shot from a pretty tough position. That's definitely a low XG opportunity out there. But anyway, it made things interesting again. We get to 2-1, and I don't think, even though we were at 2-1 in these derbies with Panathinaikos, normally I'd be like, great, this is not where I want to be with Panathinaikos because they can always come back. But again, based on some of the messages from the chat, no one really seemed that worried. We were worried, obviously, because it's 2-1 and it's a derby, but you just saw how our guys were fighting on the pitch, and you knew there were more goals coming. You knew that this game wasn't over for us, which is, compared to what we've seen the last couple of years, it's been refreshing with this team. This team has so much passion and fight in it. The score remained 2-1 going into halftime, and Mendy ends up making just 1 sub. He makes a sub at halftime. He takes off Mouzakitis and he puts on Santiago Heze. And, kind of looking at that, especially with the game context, and as I was rewatching the game, I didn't really think that was a bad change, because towards the end of the half, they're starting to punch through, especially after they scored. They're starting to punch through the middle a little bit more. We're not doing quite as well dispossessing them and stopping the buildup. So Heze from Mouzakitis he's our best when it comes to the press trap. Santiago Heze is our best when it comes to anticipating the movements and really shutting down those passing lanes against the opponents. And he did that the second he was on the field. He was doing very, very good job of shutting things down and intercepting the ball and making some of those great movements and just playing well off of Danny Garcia. 3-1 comes around the 50th minute. We had a great offensive transition that went down the left side. Roman Yarmchuk gets the ball, plays it to Heze, and then Heze kind of lifts it over to Rodinei. Rodinei crosses it back into Yarmchuk, and it actually kind of goes off his shoulder, and it deflects in pretty nice into the goal. Maybe you could say a little bit lucky, but that 3-1 was really an emphasis on our dominance just overall in the game, and of course from the get-go in that second half. I mean, again, we were like as the saying goes here, we were like flies on shit. Our guys were just running all over the place, pressing them no matter when they had the ball. They barely had a second or two to think before we were really just chomping at the bits and going at them, trying to get the ball away from them. So it was just great work from everybody throughout the match until this point. Now, after we get this third goal, things did start to get a little bit testy. We saw that in the first half, and it started to get testy again. Some frustration from Panathinaikos, and they're starting to get a little bit more physical. They even had a pretty decent chance. They were getting forward. They had a decent chance with Swiderski. Jolakis made a wonderful save, just extending his arm, and he blocked it. And I think he even deflected off of our crossbar too. But great reflex from Jolakis there, and a great save, because that really could have been, at that point, that could have just made it 3-2 and really been a gut punch after going up 3-1. But Panathinaikos, of course, still ended up cutting the lead when they get that absolute joke of a penalty. Unai is dribbling into like four of our players. He kind of gets by Garcia, he gets by Heze, and then when I was watching it live, I see him dribble and I just see him go down. I didn't see anybody touch him. There was no contact, and they're going through the VAR. I don't see where the contact was, but on the initial dribble, you do see there was like a little bit of contact outside of the box, but it was outside of the box. That penalty, it shouldn't have been a penalty. It should have been a free kick outside of the box. And the ref didn't see it that way. VAR team, what a surprise, didn't see it that way, even though they could see it slower from all the angles, but they didn't see it that way either. We've come to see that a lot from VAR in Greece this year. And, they give the penalty. Ioannidis gets it, and he converts it. So jokes all around there. The joke is capped off by the king clown himself, Ioannidis, converting it and then starting shit with Rodinei. We're getting the ball out, and they're trying to take the ball from us so that they can put it on the Ioannidis is grabbing Rodinei. They're screaming at each other, and then literally at one point, Ioannidis is motioning on camera. They show him motioning to Rodinei, like to meet him in the parking lot, and to take it out in the parking lot. All I have to say about, I cried laughing when I saw that nonsense. Ioannidis, that little bitch, really thought he stood a chance against Rodinei. Ioannidis. Like, are you kidding me? This loser, that idiot, really. Oh my god, like, it kills me just thinking about it now. Ioannidis really thought he could take Rodinei in a parking lot fight. That moron. Somebody tell the Panathinaikos diving king that the swim team needs him tomorrow for lessons. What a loser. Hysterical. Guys, I am not going to forget that. I think there's a Muppet meme in Ioannidis' future. I'll make sure of that. Don't worry. But after that whole situation happened, I mean, I wasn't sure what's better. What could have been better after that situation? Ioannidis acted like a clown, and then we score a goal number 4 from Babis Kostoulas. Babis Kostoulas, who comes in, the animal is all over the place, and he is just making mincemeat of everybody on this Panathinaikos team. Not even 18 years old yet, and he's dragging them around, making them his bitch. And he scores the goal, makes it 4-2, doubles the lead again. And then the best part was too, Ioannidis gets a red card, gets a second yellow and a red for being a moron. So in the end, karma strikes. Karma strikes. Ioannidis gets a red card for being an idiot. His good buddy Tsavelas, another clown, the ancestral clown, from the Ethniki Omada, that loser gets a yellow too. Fitting. Two clowns together. Panathinaikos literally just assembling the Avengers of clowns in that organization. Jokes, morons, the two of them. Anyway, karma was served. We win 4-2. Ioannidis is missing the next game. Clown, and Savella the clown. They go home unhappy. We get +10. We have a really, really, really important match now coming up against Bach. After the Kipalo, if we win this game in Tumba, if we beat Bach, it's done. We win the title because Ike will be, if they are unable to win against Panathinaikos, if they can't win, they have to win for this not to be the case. If Ike draws or lose, even if they draw and we lose the next 4 matches and they win the next 4 matches, we have beaten them on head to head. So it does not matter what happens. As long as Ike doesn't win and we win against Bach next week, we win the title. So this team, find a way to win in Dumba next week, and this should be done. Ike has had struggles in the derbies. They struggled against Panathinaikos this season too. Panathinaikos has been an annoyance for us early on. We have a really good chance of putting this title hunt to bed next weekend. Just find a way to win in Tumba. Guys, Olympiacos deserves this title. We deserve the title this year, boys. We have been by far the best team in Greece. We create the most chances. We have the best defense in Greece. We've had issues converting those chances. You know, we have outside now of Panathinaikos, thanks to their Diego Alonso misfortunes. We're under, well, before this match we were over 5.5 goals under our XG, underperforming our XG by 5.5 goals. It's insane. If we had scored exactly to what our XG was, the title hunt will be done. If we had scored goals to our XG, especially in those games where we drop points because of it, title would be out of reach. The title would be out of reach right now. We'd already be winning this thing. So we deserve this title. We're the best team in Greece. And we have a chance for the double too. Later this week, we're going to play Ike in the Kipalo. 6-0. We're leading on aggregate. Ideally, this should be a win, unless we allow something stupid from Ike. Ideally, we should be in the Kipalo final too with a chance for the double, something that we haven't done since the 2019-2020 season. So really cool stuff coming up. Really exciting in terms of what the club can accomplish this season, despite no longer being in European competition. Now, wrapping it up, let's do man of the match, coach's grade. My man of the match today is going to go to our Ukrainian striker, Roman Yaremchuk. Not too many times this guy gets man of the match. He had 2 great goals today, one which was based on pure effort. And man, you know, one of the things we pointed out about this guy not being first choice was that he didn't press like Ayub Alkabi. Well, today, this man was a madman. Roman Yaremchuk was running all over the place today. And good on him. I mean, he was fantastic. And think about it. Just like I talked about Muzakitis earlier, 3 assists in 2 games. Roman Yaremchuk was also a super sub in that Bodo Glimt game, scored 2 goals. And guess what? He had 2 goals today. Roman Yaremchuk has 4 goals in 2 matches for Olympiacos. Incredible. Absolutely incredible from Roman Yaremchuk. Another shout out can go to Rodinei. Rodinei had 2 assists today, makes 16 goal contributions on the season. 4 goals, 12 assists. He's the assist leader in Greece. He is now the 2nd highest goal contributor on Olympiacos. He has overtaken Gelson Martins, who has 15 goal contributions on the season. So amazing stuff there from Rodinei, and also gets a shout, of course, for man of the match. Mendy, I'm going to give him coach's grade. I give him an A. What else can we say? I mean, I think his game management was great. I thought, I mean, really, I think everybody played quite well today. But from start to finish, we were the better side. Playing Jose at halftime was a bit of a masterstroke too because Jose was disrupting their transitions very well, especially up the middle. It was also his ball that set up Rodinei when Rodinei assisted Yaramchuk for the third goal. We brought on at one point we brought on David Carmo actually pretty early to try and seal things up, and I think that was ideal, especially in Panathinaikos were getting physical, fouling nonstop, and just being very rough. We needed a stronger presence in there. So I'm super happy, incredibly happy. This was a really great way to end the Sunday with knowing the fact that we are one step closer to bringing home the big silverware with a really good chance of making Champions League again for the first time in a few years. So all of this stuff, guys, is super exciting. It's not over yet, of course. We're not there yet. We're not in the clear, but it's in our hands. This is ours to lose, and we can put this whole thing to bed if we show up and we do the deed against Dumba. We have a really good chance of putting this to bed this next weekend. But first things first, of course, we have to see out the Greek Cup against Ike. That is coming up later this week. So all eyes are going to be on there. If we can get a live show together for that, we will do our best, of course. But some great things. It'd be really great to see how we end the season. And at the same time, it will be fantastic to see how we do this summer. We know the club's already working on pieces that they want to bring in. There's players coming back from loan. With Champions League money, we know we're going to have to make a sale or two, and we're going to see how this club embarks on the journey of Champions League again. How are we going to approach this? Mendilibar is going to be our coach again. It's another chance for us to continue to build on the great progress that we've made under him, continue to build on not just the work that's being done in the academy, which the academy is our U19s are also coming up this week playing in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Youth League, the defending champions, and we're back in the quarterfinals playing against Red Bull Salzburg U19. So look out for that as well. Big things coming for our Olympiacos men's team and our Olympiacos young bucks in the academy. So all great stuff that's happening. The club is also continuing to win titles in other sports too. You love to see it. Men's volleyball, we saw women's volleyball. It's incredible stuff. The club is doing fantastic things across all sports. We're super happy for it. This is the time of the year the silverware really starts to flow in. So watch out for everything. Support everything that's red and white. I'm Adi. This is Theos International. By the fans, for the fans. And the guys will see you all tomorrow for the live show. So until next time,